Okay, here we are back again at the center court here at the Eurotour here at Patrick's Canadian Tavern and Pool Hall in Rankweil, Austria. And we have a match going on between Francois Cottance from France and Darren Appleton, Mr. Dynamite from Great Britain, the reigning world champion in 10 ball. Darren Appleton start with his break, just making 3 balls already on the break, the corner ball, additional ball and the 1 ball. And he got a position on the 2 ball, so this is a really a nice break to start with. And we play 9 ball, race to 9, alternate break. Has to play that super softly to keep the position for the 4 ball. He has also very much angle here on the 4, so he has to play double speed or also super soft to keep the position on the 5. Very nice touch here from Mr. Darren Appleton. Very nice start. By the way, he also has a personal website, player website on myspace.com. So if you go on myspace.com/Darren Appleton, then you might find his player website if you want to know more about Darren Appleton. Go to MySpace and search for him. And here comes the first 9 ball for Darren Appleton, going ahead 1-0 over Francois Cottance. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. I was never good in when I had a little French in the school, just for a short time. I always had big difficulty to pronounce in the pronouncing of the French language. So Francois Cottance here with his break at the table. He's living in Paris, and he starts also to make the corner ball, and the 1 ball is nearby the cue ball, but no pocket available for this 1 pocket so far, as I can see here. So it wouldn't make me wonder when he will just start with the safety here. Mr. Cottance is 33 years old. Trying a safety. Look at it, how accurate he placed the cue ball in front of the pocket. And there's a shot for Darren Appleton to cut the 1 ball into the side, but certainly not easy, and it looks like that the cue ball will go naturally into the 4 ball. And it's hard to judge where exactly it will hit the 4 ball and if he can get the position out of that, or if he need to try to avoid the contact with the 4 ball. And all these things you have to think about, not that you still have to concentrate on pocketing the 1 and look at where you're coming from with the cue ball. So I would recommend to go for a safety here as well, if you find one. So Darren Appleton found the safety here. Very smart play here from the reigning world champion in 10 ball. He could see enough of the one ball obviously to make it, but missed it. And now it's a nice opportunity for Darren Appleton. When he just let the cue ball roll, then he can go over 2 rails. It's hard to judge if he will run into the 3 or if he just barely, like now, pass it, so that he has a shot at the 2. And now he has a quite good position, so now he got the control here in this match, in this game, excuse me. He hooked himself behind the 9. What a big mistake. Hard to tell what you can do. I mean, it depends on if he can see a little bit of the 4 ball. It won't bring him much because it always will stay near this right foot corner pocket and the cue ball will go into nowhere land. Maybe he can pass then the 5 and the 6, going to the other side rail, and maybe keeping the 5 or 6 between the 4 and the cue ball. Otherwise, he has to go for a kick shot, and the chances to get a resave out of this situation, out of a kick shot, 2-rail kick shot here, he's trying to receive a resave, is very low, the percentage. He almost made it. Sometimes the viewers think the world champion has to make even a 2-rail kick shot, has to pot the ball. But this is not exactly right. You always need a little bit, special accuracy or special luck on it. I mean, to make a legal shot over 2 rails or 1 rail, just by a kick shot, you have a big target. The ball has 57 millimeters, so if you hit a little bit to the right or to the left, you have a target like almost 100 millimeters, so 10 centimeters target, right? So this is a pretty big target just to make a legal shot, but to pot it, for example, like the attempt on the 4 ball from Darren Appleton, you have only 1 millimeter. Depends how far away from the pocket. If it's in front of the pocket, of course you have the full 100 millimeter. But if it's just a little bit apart from the pocket or away from the pocket, you have only 1 or 2 millimeters of tolerance. And nobody can be that accurate unless it's close enough to the pocket, the object ball. So even carom players who play 3-rail or 3-cushion billiards, they cannot have this accuracy. Here it's Francois Cottance, tighten up the score at 1-1. Even those caroms. And here, break from Darren Appleton again. Get the corner ball, and he would have had a shot at the 1 ball when he could keep the cue ball in the center of the table or bring it back into the center of the table. So he has to start again with a safety. It's not a closed-up safety, but he didn't leave much. Only a very long combination, 1-6 combination for Francois Cottance. So far, Mr. Cottance is doing quite well, and when we should have a look here to get more information about Francois Cottance, living in Paris and playing in the club academy. Usual, I don't know. I already mentioned my difficulties in the French language to pronounce it right. Vieux-Grenelle, maybe. Academy Vieux-Grenelle. I like that. In France, the pool halls or the billiard halls are, a lot of times they call them Academy Vieux-Grenelle. So, over there, obviously it's not only a sport like they call it a lot of times in the rest of the world. In my opinion, it's also much more than a sport. It's more kind of an art. So, what sport? I mean, if you just consider it a game, it would be bigger than a sport. So anyway, here, oh, what a big miss here from Francois Cottance. Unexpected miss from Francois Cottance, who is playing with a Predator Q, like so many players nowadays. I guess Darren Appleton is also playing with a Predator, that's right. Predator 5K3, breaking Predator BK2. So it's a pretty tough cut. Pretty tough long cut here for Darren Appleton, and when you have thin shots like that, it's hard to keep the control over the cue ball. How about putting some right side English on it and let the cue ball pass 2 times the table length to bring it back near the center of the table. 1 table length and a half table length more, maybe. No, that's not enough. That's not enough. That's a difficult shot. It's still makeable, but very, very difficult. Doesn't matter if he chooses the right head corner pocket or the right side pocket. I would go for the right side pocket, because the natural pass of the cue ball will go over 3 rails, also near the center, when you put a little right side spin on it for a position on the 7. And he's not going for either one of those pockets, he's going for safety here. Not too bad. He couldn't cover the cue ball totally behind the 7, but Francois Cottance have to come up with a very good idea here to come out of this situation. If you have this situation, I mean, even though he can have a clear hit at the 5 ball, he obviously cannot make it. Even though when it's that close to the rail, he cannot even make the bank shot. Maybe with a lot of left side spin, he can hit rail first and try to cut it into the right. Oh, what he tried to do was he was trying to hit it as thin as possible, so that the 5 ball won't move much and bring the cue ball back near the foot cushion. But when you try that, which is very difficult, then you have the big danger to hit it not only too thin, to miss it at all is the big danger in this case. And exactly that happened to Francois Cottance. And ball in hand for Darren Appleton with the remaining 3 open balls is like a sure 2-1 lead for Darren Appleton. Mr. Dynamite, they call him. That's his nickname. Darren Mr. Dynamite Appleton taking back the lead 2-1 over when they started this tour. Here comes the break from the Frenchman. And he came up empty. No balls went in. He leaves a bank shot, in my opinion, for Darren Appleton. It's hard to keep the position, though. When he plays the bank, the cue ball will go near the 7, maybe can pass, and then it's hard to judge. So he's going for a safety better. Just like that. Looks like Mr. Cottance can just pass between the 2 and the 6 ball to reach the 1. If this is the case, he can play a safety on his own. If he cannot pass, he has to go for a kick shot, which he's going for a kick shot. Okay. Let's see how this will turn out. Oh. Another miss. He missed it barely, just a little bit. So ball in hand, and the table is quite open so far. 2 ball, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So no major problems left now for the ringing 10 ball world champion. So it's just up to him to keep this control here throughout the remaining 7 balls here. And he's a little bit too straight maybe here on the 3 ball, is he? No, he had enough angle to go downwards to the 4 ball. But now he needs another time big angle to go to the other side, or probably he will pull out a major draw shot to play the 5 in the side. Here comes the draw shot. Was it enough? It was. He can cut this 5 ball in. Can try to make it kind of long for a shot into the right foot corner, or keep it short, harder, to play the 6 into the opposite side pocket like he did. Very good execution from Darren Appleton. And when we check out his way into this under the last 48 players, then we can see he was starting with a 9-1. No, here, results upcoming matches here. He was starting on Thursday with a 9-6 win over Dejan Dabovic. And he continued with a 9-3 win over Mohamed Hakim. Then he continued with a big win over Wilmus Feldes, 9-1. And look at this, he snookered himself, he hooked himself behind the 9. This is quite unusual, of course, and he's surely don't like that. This looks to me for like a 2-rail kick, long rail, short rail. This gives him the best chance to receive a kind of resave. If he hits it over 2 rails full enough, then the cue ball will stay near the foot rail and he can send the 8 ball into the other half of the table. That's all he can do. 1, 2 rails. Look at that! Accidentally he was hitting it too much on the outside and made it into the left foot corner pocket. Maybe it wasn't that big of an accident, I don't know. But this was certainly a very good shot from Darren Appleton. So 3-1 is the lead for Mr. Darren Appleton. Are they acting? How they are dealing if problems are coming? Doesn't matter if those problems are created by themselves or if they just leave on the table. How they are dealing with problems. This is the difference. There you can see, there you can divide by how they deal with problems. There you can see the difference between a winner and a good player. Nice shot, Mr. Cottance. It's a little bit delicate situation here with the 8 ball in front of this, right on the edge of the left side pocket. Probably it cannot be made. Especially, of course, he has now the difficulty, the 8 is in his way of his cue stick, so he has to elevate his cue, which makes this 2 ball very difficult. But he still made it. Very accurate shot here from Mr. Cottance from Paris, France. He got a shot at the 3 ball. Not easy, very far away. And he has to put some action on the cue ball. Some draw shot or some major stun. And still think about this 8 ball. It's like a little insurance for Mr. Darren Appleton to come back to the table. So the key shot for Mr. Cottance is not only the 3 ball in the position to the 4, is also, especially here, the 8 ball. This was a nice shot, very accurate. So Mr. Cottance showed us already why he's here under the last 48 players. Let's have a look how he made his way under the last 48. He started with a 9-7 win over Stefan Koller from Austria. Oh, I guess he was trying to play a safety here and accidentally made a 4. Which gives him some trouble now, because he is partly behind the 9 ball. And out of this position, he cannot pot the 5 ball unless he plays it very thin into the right side pocket. If he got this, I'm not sure if he even got the option here. Try the bank. He was hitting a little bit, moving a little bit the 8 ball with the 5, by the way, which could be very important. Maybe now the 8 is makeable in the side. Looks like Mr. Appleton. Oh. So probably he checked already out the 8 ball, and it might be possible now to play it in the side. Very nice, all the way up and down the table. Now natural position from the 7 to the 8. So that's it, as long as the 8 goes into the side, but I'm pretty sure that it goes. Without further problems. And here with this 9 ball from Darren Appleton. Before he get beaten 9-0 from Fabio Petroni. How about that? So this was surely a big loss. Normally you might think that maybe he's not that good of a player, but he proved that he's a very good player in the next match when he won 9-6 over the young talented player from Austria, Mr. Jürgen Janessy. And now here he is, playing Darren Appleton. Another time, empty on the break, Mr. Francois Cottance, and giving a chance, another chance for Darren Appleton to take care to collect another game on his account. One, two, 3 rails for the 3 ball. Oh, maybe too hard, maybe too hard, maybe too hard. Ooh. Okay, he still can see it, but the 7 is a little bit in his way. Here you see how he has to elevate his cue to have a... So he doesn't have a clean access to the cue ball here, which makes the 3 ball pretty difficult. So he cannot get the cue ball closer to the 4 ball for the next position. Very good shot. It's a long 4-ball, but I'm pretty sure that he can take care of that ball. Just a little high left on the cue ball. And by the way, I got the information that already one game is over here. Mr. Jayson Shaw has won 9-4 over Richard Jones in just 40 minutes. That's pretty fast. Mr. Ercole Matias is also pretty close, 8-2 in front against Ivica Putnik. And here another 9-ball from Darren Appleton gives him the The winner of our match will play David Alcaide for a match to go under the last 16. Nice break from Mr. Darren Appleton. He got a shot at the 2-ball. The 5-ball also is a little bit in his way when he plays the cue ball. I don't know if he can just some right side spin to keep the position on the 3, but I guess the 5-ball was the reason that he was a little bit disturbed, a little bit handicapped when he played that 2-ball. Normally he's not the player to miss shots like that. So this little mistake gives the opportunity for Mr. Francois Cottance to come back in this match. Table is open. Just let's check out if he can keep the control. Shot by shot here in this game to collect the game. He's still okay, maybe a little, would maybe prefer a different angle on the 4-ball, but I guess it's still okay. Some draw shot and he will get a quite good position on the 5. Ooh! He was trying to cheat the pocket a little bit. He wanted to kill the angle a little bit and missed there for the 4-ball. Fortunate enough that he didn't leave much for Darren Appleton. He left a safety. So now there's only 2 possibilities of kick for Mr. Darren Appleton: to go over the head rail with the elevated cue over the 8. But a good chance to pot the 4-ball, or to go 1 rail over the right, long right cushion, just to get a legal hit. You cannot pot it from there. Or go 2 rails, short rail and long rail. But I guess that's the first option here. To go over the 8, elevated cue, some right side English. Best chance to pot it, and he was close to it. He was close to it, but unfortunately left it in front of the pocket for Mr. Francois Cottance from France. So he lost the control once in this game. Let's see if he can keep it now. The position is not perfect. He got a bank shot though, and it's not a very difficult bank shot. It's like a ball in hand bank shot. So he's supposed to make that, and he did. Okay, position on the 6 ball, so you can add a little right side spin on it to let the cue ball pass between the 8 and the 9, or add a little left side spin on it to pass between the 8 and the cushion. So here he is, between the 8 and the 9. Natural speed, high right. And he will get a straight in position on the 8 ball. And a stop shot would be sufficient enough for first class feel good position on the 9 ball. And here he is, reducing the gap in the score. Practice breakout here. He got the 7 ball as the corner ball. Couldn't get a corner ball, but the 1 ball. And how about the position on the 2? He got a shot at the 2. He got a shot at the 2. Not too difficult, not too easy. The good thing about it is that I guess natural roll on the cue ball will be enough to get a position right there where he was pointing his cue at, a position on the 3 ball. But it's Darren Appleton on the table because it was a dry break. Not enough balls were crossing the head string, which is the rule here. So if you make 1 ball on the break, 2 balls has to cross the head string. If you make 2 balls, 1 ball has to cross the head string. If you make 3 balls, nothing has to cross the head string. And with this rule, they just try to avoid those very popular soft breaks. And for whatever reason, but they just find it much more attractive with the hard, powerful breaks here in 9 ball, which divides this billiard discipline from all the other billiard games like snooker and carom billiards. In what other game you have to deal with high speed shots like here in pocket billiards? Formerly you could call it American pool, but it's just pool billiards now. They just start to divide from the other disciplines back in 1854, when Mr. Phelan, it was Mr. Phelan back in 1854 when he changed the pockets, going from round edges on the pockets, like it is still today on the snooker tables, into this kind of pockets. This change was made back in 1854. Okay, and here goes Darren. Good break from Mr. Darren Appleton, making the corner ball, making the 1 ball. Cue ball not so, not actually in the center of the table, but at least in front of the 2 ball. He can have, I guess he got 2 choices here to go to give it a try into. This would be the 3rd choice here. I guess he had 2 choices to play it into one of the head corners and to play the safety, because the 9 ball is nearby where he can hide the cue ball behind. Didn't work out perfectly, but good enough. I mean, Mr. Cottance cannot do much out of that. He will try to hit the 2-ball pretty thin on its right side, and with the help of the 5-ball he can keep the 2-ball near this head rail while sending back the cue ball to the foot rail. Ooh. I don't know whatever he tried, but it didn't work at all. I guess he was trying to pull out some curve shot here, and the curve went too much. So, ball in hand for Mr. Darren Appleton. Yeah, and just what I like, what I mentioned before, 1854, Mr. Phelan was changing the pocket angles and sizes on the American tables, and so they start to call it American pockets. They didn't change the table size back then, so they still played, if they had tournaments, they played on big 12-foot tables. Doesn't matter in America or England or in France. The difference, the next changes were made in 1871, when they changed also the size in America of the table, going from 12-foot to 11-foot tables, and 1890 going from 11-foot to 10-foot tables, and also creating some other variants on this table with more balls. Before they just played with 4 balls, where you can make points by pocketing balls and making caroms with it. And here comes the 7-2 lead from Mr. Darren Appleton. Different countries. And the change from 10-foot to 9-foot tables like nowadays was made in 1949. It is the 3rd time at least when I saw Mr. Francois Cottance came up empty on his break. So 3 times he didn't make a ball on the break. 1 time he ended up empty on his with a dry break. So if there is a weakness if there is a little weakness you can mention of the player, then I guess it's the break from Mr. Cottance here. Oh, that's a very nice safety here. Hard to judge. Maybe Mr. Cottance still can see a little bit of the 1 ball. Maybe enough to give it a chance to pocket it into this right head corner pocket. Very difficult. Look at that. He had enough room to pocket the 1 ball, so he tried it. Missed it barely. You see how close this was. And Darren Appleton surely can make the 1, but the position on the 2 ball is a little bit delicate, at least. If he could do, he would try to avoid to make the 1 ball. Because when he makes the 1 ball, I mean, how to play position on this 2 ball? Okay, let's show us some example here. Okay, couldn't get the position like to make the 2 ball, so he has he's fine with just see the 2 ball and play another safety here. So let's enjoy this safety battle here between those 2 players. I guess here he has to try to keep the 4 ball between the 2 and the cue ball. Just hit it a little bit on the left side with the right speed. Keep the 4 ball between them. That's it. That's it. And now Mr. Appleton would probably try. Here he's measuring out the mirror system, where he has to kick at the rail. Don't forget to calculate the distance from the center of the cue ball to the outside part of the cue ball. So whatever, if he plays low left and hit the 2 ball kind of full, he can keep the cue ball behind the 4 while sending the 2 ball back to the other half of the table, if it's not rolling right into one of those remaining balls like it did, like it just happened. It's not a big shot here for, not a big opportunity for Mr. Cottance. He could make the 2 ball, but it's very difficult, and the position is, I guess the cue ball would run into the 7 a little bit and would make it kind of impossible to get a position. If he could pass the 7, yes, but he's not giving it a try to cut it in, but fortunate enough to leave the cue ball behind the 9 ball. So our safety battle will continue. Only a kick shot over the right side rail with lots of left side spin to get a legal shot on the 2. If you could get an additional second rail, it would be helpful to increase the chance to receive a resave, and he exactly tried that. He missed it barely. Missed it barely. So ball in hand, the safety battle is won by Mr. Cottance from Paris. And let's see what he can do out of that. Now, after he won this safety battle, can he benefit from it by running out this game? Okay, from here, high left side to go 2 rails for the 4. 1, 2. If you can pass the 9 ball, would be okay. And then he can draw the cue ball back into the 9 ball to keep the position on the 5. Pretty delicate. Ooh, he's trying to go all the way around and received now a very difficult shot on the 5. Lots of blue cloth between the cue ball and the 5. And he missed it. And he missed it and left it as an easy victim for Darren Appleton in front of the pocket. Reyes so far. I don't know what kind of angle, if he has any angle at all here. If not, just draw it back. And here he is with a position on the 8 ball. So I'm pretty sure that Mr. Darren Appleton will be on the hill after taking care of this 9 ball. Darren Appleton on the hill, leading 8-2 over. So Christoph Reinches is leading 8-4 over Marius Gonetsny. Then I see a 8-7 lead from Carlo Dalmatine over Fabio Petroni. And I see an empty break from Darren Appleton here. So Mr. Francois Cottance is still alive here in this match. He will return to the table with a tough shot on the 1 ball, as well as a tough position on the 2. High left side, 2 rails. If he likes to go for the shot, but he likes to go for a safety instead. And this looks like a 1-8 combination to me, even though it's far away. And he made it, including position. So maybe this was the last action we saw from Mr. Francois Cottance, gentleman from Paris. The last thing here is now the key shot for this game, to go from the 4 to the 5, of course. Now they already start the matches from the next round. When the seeded players coming into play here at the tournament. Look at this, look at this. He scratched on the 4 ball. Ball in hand for Mr. Francois Cottance from Paris. Still alive here in this tournament, in this match, with ball in hand and 4 open remaining balls. He can keep his hopes alive. Mr. Florian Hammer has won 9-6 over Thomas Kaplan. And they already started. Here comes the 9 ball from Mr. Cottance, keeping himself alive here with a score of also between Matthias and Ralph Eckert.
For winning a gold medal in the World Games. Congratulations, Ralph.
Here, Mr. David Morris just announced Yes, congratulations to Mr. Ralph Eckert, who just have won 2 weeks ago a gold medal at the World Games down there in Taiwan, Taipei. Winning some money, not for himself, but for the German Billiard Federation. But I guess he can keep the medal. So interesting situation here for Darren Appleton. Thin cut. Would you go for that? He tried a safety and received the safety with a little help of the edge of the side pocket here. So that's certainly not the way he liked to play a safety. It's not a hard safety. I mean, it's an easy kick to come out with a legal shot at least. And now we got a safety, a real one from Mr. Francois Cottance. Yes, Mr. Darren Appleton has to play this kick shot just past the side pocket. Oh, he's looking in a different way here. He's going for over the left long rail. I would prefer the right long rail. For whatever reason, maybe he is right, because the right long rail would have a bigger chance to go scratch with the cue ball. Oh, look at that. 3-rail kick. He tried a 3-rail kick. And ended up in a foul. So, Mr. Darren Appleton showed some problems here to close the match. And I guess the closing part is a very important part here in matches like that. Let's see if Mr. Francois Cottance can collect another game on his account and keep up the pressure on Mr. Darren Appleton. Pretty okay position on the 4, but delicate to maneuver the cue ball direction of the foot rail and coming out of that, passing between the 6 and the 9. How about that? Oh no, he's going all the way around. Was this a try to play position for a combination? Probably not, no. Now he has a thin cut on the 5 ball. Not easy, as well as the position.
And he missed that one. Not an easy leave here as well. Can make the 5-ball, and he has to try to send a cue ball naturally into the 9-ball to keep the cue ball near the 6-ball. When he plays the 6-ball naturally, I guess he won't scratch. The cue ball will come close to the corner pocket, but no scratch. He just need to let it roll naturally, and it will come out perfectly for position on the 7.
Players, table number 8, playing Osborne, Anton Koshavoy, table 8, playing Osborne, Anton Koshavoy.
I guess now he is home and dry, Mr. Darren Appleton. With the match ball here on the center court. Mr. Cottance